Terry with a single off the wall in center field in the second inning. Takes off speed there for a strike.
I think the change at this point also just shows the respect that Northwestern has for Caitlin Terry's bat coming out of that 9 spot. You know, can't afford to let her hit anything hard. So almost treating her like she's the top of their order.
And that has kind of become the new philosophy in a lot of ways around the 9-hole position, like a second leadoff hitter. That's a strike, full count.
This is a nice pitch right at the kneecap inside.
Terry pulls it through the hole on the right side. That's a base hit. Hatch up to second on the play. 2 hits, 2 at-bats off 2 different pitchers for Caitlin Terry today.
Now this pitch, thigh high outside, and look at the positioning of Nito at second base, shaded a little towards the bag at second, so a bigger gap into right field. Terry finds it by rolling over that outside pitch, but works for the Bruins, and they're back in scoring position.
Jessica Clemens chokes up on the left side, takes a strike, and the count is 0-1. No outs, and runners on first and second for UCLA, trying to put this game out of reach. Clemens, solid contact, and it rolls to the wall in right. Hatch scores. Terry scores. 2 RBI double for Jessica Clemens to put UCLA up 10-0.
And UCLA is finally finding their rhythm on offense. Clements coming up, pulling this pitch just out of the reach at Nito. Great effort at second. Thought she was nearly going to have that, but that ball was smoked into right center field. Hatch around to score. Caitlin Terry around to score.
Savannah Pola takes a strike. You know, you could see that coming. Clemens was seeing the ball well. She lined out in her last at-bat in the second inning into a double play, unfortunately, at second, but had great contact in her previous at-bat, and that time just put it where the defense wasn't.
Yeah, Northwestern has done a really good job of being in all the right places on defense. And today, UCLA has finally found some of the holes on defense and been able to find the grass. It was not the case yesterday.
Three balls, 1 strike on Savannah Pola, the senior who's going out the way any college athlete would want, with a outstanding senior campaign, hitting over .433. 3-2. Pola hit .241 last season as a junior. I mean, her batting average has gone up almost 200 points this season. 2 hits today.
And Pola's always been kind of a utility player for the Bruins. Played some outfield, played some infield. This season, some shifting around, an injury pulled her into second base permanently, full time, and she's done such a tremendous job defensively. And talk about her offensive game.
Right on Hugh, and it falls into the glove of Lindsay. What a catch. Throw over to third. Clements was the runner on second.
Wow, this was a great catch in center field. This is tough to make, running straight in, picks it up right before it hits the grass, and then gets up quickly because Clements was ready to tag and take off for third. She ends up holding up because that throw was on target, but just a nice play by Lindsay out in center.
Great play by Ayanna Lindsay, and Jordan Woolery smokes one to the wall in left center. Lindsay throws it back to second. Clements scores from second, and it's an RBI single for Jordan Woolery. 11-0 the score.
And just when Lindsay shifts over more towards left field as the center fielder, Woolery goes even further into that gap left center, scoring Clements from second. There really is a different energy that the Bruins have brought to this ball game. Yesterday, it felt low, it felt tired, and they just weren't able to generate anything offensively, and then it was taking a toll on their defensive game, and in the circle, it was exhausting, but today it looks like there are more smiles, there's more energy, there's more life in that Bruin dugout.
You can hear it, too.
Yeah, the stadium, there's a lot going on over here.
Megan Grant takes a strike, and that is the first strike Megan Grant has seen in 3 plate appearances today. Walked twice on a combined 8 pitches. Quick note, Taylor Stevens is the pinch runner on first for Jordan Woolery. That pitch misses belt high to Grant, 1-1.
And Cunningham's got a nice little off-speed pitch as well. I think floated right in, took a hard dive down.
Grant, a little flare playing on a bounce by Donahue, the third baseman. Stevens, the runner on first, held up, and so she is retired on the force. Fielder's choice puts Megan Grant on first.
That's a tough read on that because the defense is playing so deep and so far shifted that when you see that off the bat, especially off of Megan Grant's bat, you expect it to be a laser shot, not a bloop. So you kind of hold waiting for the catch to possibly be made, but good heads up to make that play at second.
Brings up Kanaya Bragg. Bragg reached on an error in the second. In some ways, the pivotal at-bat of the second for UCLA, as it ultimately allowed the floodgates to open for a 5-run inning. Well, take me through this shift now with Bragg at the plate, Amanda.
Well, it's just so interesting. You've seen slight shifts throughout the ball game, but this is a heavy shift to the left side. So a very obvious game plan going at Bragg, going to that inside corner, hoping to get something rolled over to the left side of the field, but there is a lot of gap in right center field, but that entire right field lane is totally open.
Three balls and 1 strike. UCLA has scored in every inning so far. And Bragg, a big bouncer behind the bag at second. Nito throws Bragg out at first, and the inning is over. 3 more for the Bruins on a trio of base hits. 11-0. Introducing the top 4 teams in the Big Ten. UCLA still with a chance to win the Big Ten regular season title. Northwestern trying to earn a first-round bye in the Big Ten tournament next weekend. You got to be in the top 4 to do that. In addition to the surprise result we had last night with Northwestern beating UCLA 8-0, Michigan State on the road against number 3 Oregon beat the Ducks 6-4. As this inning starts quickly with a ground ball out off the bat of Kansas Robinson. She's retired 6-3 for the first out. But how about Michigan State going up to Eugene and stealing game 1 from Oregon?
That's so impressive. We talked about the path to the Big Ten regular season championship and how there was a path for several of these teams, especially UCLA and Oregon. Neither of them did what they wanted to be able to do last night. So, you know, there's still opportunities for both. But a big surprise, and it just goes to show at this point in the season, the type of ball that you're seeing across the country. Everybody's playing well.
Izzy Kania swings and misses to even the count at 1-1. Oregon does have the tiebreaker over UCLA. They took 2 of 3 off the Bruins when they played in April. Kania finds a soft spot in the UCLA defense. A base hit to center field.
Now batting for Northwestern, pitcher number 2, Lawrence.
Just the third base hit of the day allowed by Caitlin Terry, who's been excellent in the circle for UCLA. She faces Lauren Saborski for the second time right now. This is high to Saborski, who flew out to center field back in the second. A rip and a miss.
Yeah, Saborski was responsible for some of those runs in yesterday's game as well. But there's such a difference as a pitcher to go out and throw if you're UCLA and Caitlin Terry right now. When your team's swinging the stick really well on offense to give you 11 runs, your pitcher, your job in the circle now is just to throw strikes. Keep yourself in the ball game, keep the energy level high, get the team back in to continue offensively. Whereas yesterday it felt like a struggle on all sides of the field. The hitting was affecting the fielding, and the fielding was affecting the pitcher, and it just didn't feel like UCLA had any sort of a rhythm in any part of their game. There's Caitlin Terry with that nice low belt high strike.
Saborski grounds it through the hole on the left side. That's a base hit. First inning with multiple base hits for Northwestern, as Kania is now in scoring position. Sophia Mojica just barely held on to that pitch. It's called a strike to Ayanna Lindsay. Lindsay past Bragg at short. It scores Northwestern's first run of the day. Kania slides in. It's 11-1. Lindsay up on second base. Saborski now on third.
Yeah, the Cats just making solid contact. And you can see a little shift to the left side, and then it goes to the right side of Kania. The hit before, she shifted a little up the middle and went to her right. So right now Northwestern just kind of hitting the ball where UCLA is not.
Avery Garden is the batter. It's been a great series for Ayanna Lindsay, the senior center fielder. She had a 3 RBI triple yesterday and a 4 RBI start to the weekend now. Garden in the air, left center, it's gone! Garden leaves the yard for the second time this series. It's a 3-run home run, and it's now 11-4.
How about Garden out of that 9 spot? We talked so much about her at the beginning of the broadcast, what she's been able to do out of that spot. Goes yard again for the second day in a row.
Grace Nito takes ball 1 inside. Man, Amanda, I tell you, Lindsay and Garden are going to be 1-2 in the lineup tomorrow at this rate.
Possibly. Or don't change it. Don't change a thing. She's liking it down there. Runners getting on ahead of her. So I mean, think about that. Kania, Skaborski, they're getting on base. Lindsay, for Garden to then come up in that sort of situation, get all those runs across, and then now you're back at the top of your lineup. That's just a great job of hitting.
I agree with you. I think keep things the way they are. Nito has been great in the leadoff spot for Northwestern in this series. A walk and a single today, trying to keep the line moving here. Just 1 out in the inning, and the first batter of the inning was retired. So 4 straight have reached and then scored for Northwestern. Nito on the appeal to third. She went around. Nito strikes out, and that's the second out of the inning.
Now let's take a look at the side swing. That's a great call. Good pickup by Mojica off the dirt to hang on to that.
Kaylee Avasado sends it right back. She's on it, but nothing in 2.
And you can hear Caitlin Terry from up here, just the force she's putting into each of her pitches. She's audibly loud breathing, grunting, and then Avasado's swing is just absolutely matching Terry's energy. Then with that off-speed pitch.
Tanya Gary giving Sophia Mojica a chance to gather herself, walking the ball out to Caitlin Terry in the circle. Just a day in the life for a catcher.
You've got to think, if you're Avasado, that off-speed pitch is probably coming at some point, and the one that Terry threw in the dirt is not like her. She would throw it for a strike. You got to be ready.
Up and away, 2-2. Terry last pitched in the midweek on Wednesday against Cal State Fullerton. She actually took home the save on Wednesday. First save of the season for Terry, her second career save. Well, pitching for the second time this week, over 80 pitches now. Avasado, that is foul up the left field line.
Yeah, that's a great job protecting. After getting down with a couple of hard early swings, 0-2, Avasado's working her way back to an even count.
That strikeout for Avasado back in the third inning, Amanda, that was the first time Kaylee Avasado struck out since April 1st, when Northwestern played Notre Dame to a 10-10 tie because of darkness at Sharon J. Drysdale Field. So for a first-year player to strike out that infrequently, very impressive. And she just barely stays alive to load the count.
I mean, take a look at this pitch. Maybe I saw it differently, but I'm not quite sure where that missed. That was a beautiful off-speed pitch.
3-2. Got her swinging. Avasado done for the second time on strikes. But Northwestern strikes for 4 runs on 4 hits. It's 11-4, mid-4.